Hello, dear L1 students, and welcome to lesson 8. In this lesson, we're going to learn together how to combine what we have learned on the two previous lessons, compound and complex sentences in ICT writing. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to differentiate between compound, complex, and mixed sentences. You will be able to combine multiple ideas logically using conjunctions, apply advanced structures to express causes, condition, and contrast, and to write coherent professional technical sentences. So, why to combine sentences? In a paragraph or in a passage, when you are writing, expressing ideas that are related together, combining sentences help you to avoid repetition by preventing short, choppy, and repetitive sentence structure. It helps you to express relationships, that is to say, it states a clear show that can help you to provide coherence within the text by showing cause, effect, contract, and time sequence. And finally, combining sentences make your writing professional, having a logical flow. It makes reports and documentation smoother and more authoritative. Let's take two examples and see the difference. The program was tested, the program was updated, the program worked well. Here we see that there is a relationship between these three choppy, repetitive sentences, but the relationship there is not shown, and there is no logical flow between these three ideas. If we want to combine sentences, we can write, the program was tested and updated and it worked well because the bugs were fixed. Okay, so let's review sentences before digging into the lesson. Okay, a simple sentence is one independent clause. For example, the software runs efficiently. However, a compound sentence is two independent clauses related by conjunction from one of fanboys. The server was tested and it worked well. A complex sentence is an independent plus dependent clause. The server was tested because it had failed. Okay, so if we want to combine a compound plus complex sentence, it is called a compound complex sentence. It is two independent clauses plus a dependent clause. For example, the system was tested and it performed well because the update was successful. So the rule is to put two independent clauses separated by a comma, then a dependent clause starting by a conjunction. Here the dependent clause is because the update was successful. Okay, so let's explain the structure of a combined sentence. A compound complex sentence shows multiple relationships together, like addition, reason, etc. in one clear sentence. Here is the rule. An independent clause plus a coordinating conjunction plus an independent clause plus a subordinating conjunction, which is a part of the dependent clause. For example, the software was updated, comma, and, which is a subordinating conjunction, the system restarted automatically because the patch required a reboot. The first independent clause is The software was updated. The second independent clause is the system restarted automatically. They were separated by the conjunction and finally, because the patch required a reboot. This is the dependent clause. So we understand that compound complex sentence is a mix of compound sentence and complex sentence including three clauses. Two independent clauses separated by a conjunction and a dependent clause that starts with the conjunction. So, conjunctions for compound sentences are as follows: fun boys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. We have spoken about their functions in the earlier lesson, and let's take an example. The program runs smoothly, comma, but it needs regular updates. Here it's a subordinating conjunction. It connects unequal ideas for reason, results, contrast, etc. The system stopped working because the server overheated. So if we combine the two, we can say the engineer repaired the router and it works perfectly after he replaced the damaged port. Of course, it is a long sentence, but the coherence exists. There is a logical flow of the ideas. They are related smoothly by the conjunctions. So, the idea of the full sentence is clear. Here are some examples, dear students. You can read them alone in order to understand the different types of conjunctions like cause and results, time and action, contrast and reason, and condition and addition all together in one sentence. So, there are rules and common mistakes that you need to avoid. Each independent clause needs its own subject and verb. Use comma before the fun boys conjunctions and avoid comma splice joining independent clauses with just a comma. Okay? So, the table presents what is wrong and correct. You can find the full description in the PDF version or the work version of the course on Moodle platform. And there is one point: never use although and but together. In order to practice and understand the lesson, here are the activities to do. For the first activity, I want you to identify the type of the sentence, and in the second activity, I want you to join the three sentences into one compound complex sentence. For activity 3, try to correct the error, and in activity 4, I want you to produce in your own words at least one compound complex sentence. To summarize our lesson, in this lesson we have reviewed the difference between compound sentence and complex sentence, and we have learned how to combine them into one sentence, which is called compound complex sentence. Thank you for your attention, dear students, and all your questions are welcomed in the comments. Don't forget to practice the activities and send them into the homework email. Don't forget as well to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you next lesson.